I, 37 male, and my wife, 35, have been married for 11 years. I am not gay, but I'm bi. I met her in college and fell in love with her instantly. I never brought up the fact I was bi with her, but recently started to feel extremely guilty about hiding it from her. I am in therapy, and my therapist suggested that I seriously think about coming out. It took me a lot of work to be even seriously considering coming out. I didn't want to make a huge deal out of it and just told her some of my experiences and how they affected me. I also told her that meeting her in college was the best thing that ever happened to me, and I just wanted her to know a part of me that I was too scared to tell her about. This was about 2 months ago. She took it well and didn't freak out about it. But now we are going through a rough patch. Both of us are working a lot of hours. Her parents announced they were moving to the other side of the country. She has been taking it really hard. We were having dinner last night, and she started arguing about what we wanted to do when we remodeled the kitchen. She dismissed my idea, and I pushed back a little, and she started to blow up. First, she yelled why I cared so much about the kitchen, and then she answered her own question by saying that it was because I was a gay man pretending to be in love with her. I was really shocked and hurt, and just removed myself from the situation. It hurt a lot. There is a huge issue in our relationship if she thinks that I don't love her. I just don't understand why she would say something like that. I love her, but it was a really low blow for me. I just don't know what to do now. How should I tackle this? You've lied to her for 11 years. You need to deal with the consequences of lying for so long. If my husband told me he was bi after 11 years, I'd assume he wants to experiment with other men. You should have told her before you even got to the marriage point. It's very unfair to spring something like this to someone. It's not like you just figured it out. LGBT people, especially bi, have no obligation to reveal themselves, and to insinuate that he was lying just by being in the closet places the onus of responsibility on him in a world that still isn't 100% accepting to people like him. See wife's reaction? No matter how much you trust and love someone, bringing orientation is always a fear. Just have some empathy, OP. You should pack your things and go. She doesn't respect you anymore and never will. I mean, OP, you waited a very long time to share something very important about yourself with the person you are supposed to be able to open up to. She likely feels she doesn't really know you and probably wonders what else you could be hiding from her. And yes, suddenly telling her you're bi after all these years could definitely make it seem like you want to pursue a relationship with a man. People saying her reaction is a red flag without acknowledging that hiding a huge secret from your spouse is also a red flag obviously don't understand how long-term relationships work. You both need therapy together. I empathize with how hard it was for you to finally say something, but by God, you waited way too long and now have to deal with an even bigger mess. Update: my wife called me a closeted gay man during an argument. She is cheating on me. I had decided to keep my hurt aside and just spend some time reassuring her that I loved her and I wanted to be with her. I was trying to have a conversation about it when she confessed she was having an affair with one of her subordinates. I wanted to see the conversation, and she showed it to me. It was horrible. He is just a kid, a 21-year-old that she's using to make herself feel good. I know she has not cheated on me physically, but this is worse. And from the things I saw, she is wrong and manipulating a naive young man. It's disgusting. This has been going on for 4 months. She may have believed that I was gay because it made our marriage a thing she could throw away easily, that all my love and care and effort were me just hiding who I am. It is messed up. I don't care. We are heading for divorce. I really don't recognize the person I married. She wants me to give us another shot, but I don't want to. I will never be able to trust her. I keep thinking about what she said to me. I tried to minimize it because I loved her, but she made a borderline insult towards me after all I have told her. I really don't want to stay married to this woman. I am planning on seeking a lawyer. I really loved her and this is the worst outcome, but I can't stay with her without being miserable. So she calls you a closeted gay man, is cheating on you, but she also wants you to give her another shot. Has she lost her dang mind? Good Lord, run. Run fast, run far, and if at all possible, report her to her company. You don't need a personality disorder for this one, just good old-fashioned guilt avoidance. I had a partner do the same thing to me once. Decided apropos of nothing that I was gay and wouldn't mind if he cheated. I am straight and very much minded, but he convinced himself otherwise, so he didn't have to feel like a bad guy for what he was doing. I would also suggest you tell her to get out of the house. She's the one who alienated your marriage, family, and home, so she's the one who can go packing. No matter what excuse she throws out to justify the affair, simply tell her that was no excuse or reason to cheat. You should have talked to me. If she gets mad, just walk away from the conversation. Basically, don't put up with any crap. OP, make sure to report her affair with her subordinate to her company HR manager. Don't be lazy or reluctant to do this. There are lots of stories I've read where people regret not doing it. How do you know for sure that they never had intimacy? I wish you all the best and really hope that you heal from this soon. Good advice except for this. Do not report her to her company until after the divorce. If you out the affair before divorce agreements, you will have to pay spousal support. It's likely if you out her within 6 months, she can refile for spousal support. Talk to your lawyer about when you can blow the whistle. It should happen, but be smart about it. She's going to take advantage of him for as long as she can. He's likely going to be an emotional crutch for her until she stabilizes. The gist of this is 3 years ago, my siblings and I found out our mom had cheated on our dad for several years of their marriage. He found out at the same time. We all took a DNA test, and only I was my dad's bio kid. It destroyed my parents' marriage, and Dad walked away from Mom. My siblings said at the time he was their dad no matter what, and he said they were his kids no matter what, and he never wanted them to feel otherwise. A year ago, they decided they wanted to meet their bio fathers. I noticed at the time it really stung my dad that they had any interest, though he never said anything or acted differently. Not even to me when I tried to be a shoulder to lean on. Both of my siblings met their bio fathers and have both built relationships with these men. My sister has decided she wants both dads to walk her down the aisle. It crushed our dad. He admitted to me afterward that he felt like he wasn't good enough, and he had a mixture of emotions because he never signed up to be one of the dads in the picture. He never wanted to be a co-dad, but now he is because his ex-wife had so many affairs. What makes it worse is these new relationships are getting more time, and he is noticing he sees them less because they're busy working on the bio relationship. My siblings have mentioned wanting to invite these bio fathers to family events and dinners. They want our dad to meet them, and they want a life where both men have the title for each. I told them that I can't support this, that this is killing our dad, and I can't stand to see what this is doing to him. They said he's still their dad. I told them they have essentially cast him aside in favor of these other fathers, and given he's the one who was there their whole lives, they can't expect everyone to be happy and fine with this. My brother said he doesn't really love them if he doesn't want this for them, and they both called me an idiot for refusing to support them as their baby sister. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. It's one thing to meet a bio dad, but walking her down the aisle? Some guy had slept with a married woman with kids, and he gets equal billing as the guy who raised her? Her dad has to walk down the aisle with the dude his wife cheated with, and who kid now picks too? I understand wanting to meet the bio dad, but this is just mean. Not the idiot. It is understandable that your siblings want to get to know their bio dad. Of course this is going to hurt your dad, but you can't blame your siblings for that. But it is ridiculous that your siblings want your dad to have any kind of relationship with their bio dads. These are the guys that his wife cheated on him with. What a mess. And the real culprit, who sits out of all the drama, is the person who caused it. This is such a difficult one to give a verdict on, but I'm saying no idiots here, besides Mother Dearest. Your siblings have the right to know their bio dads. In fact, they were robbed of these relationships by your mom's dishonesty. Your dad's hurt is also understandable, especially the walking down the aisle part. What a gut-wrenching situation for him. I'm 18 female and 34 weeks pregnant. My sister is 35 and suffers from infertility. She has no kids and is starting to look into adoption. When I told her I was pregnant, she immediately started going crazy. She said it's not fair, that I'm abusing my fertility, and that I should give my baby up because I have a life to live. It's been like this my entire pregnancy. She recently started asking me if I want to try a co-parenting relationship where I give her my baby 2 days of the week and make her a legal custodian. I said no to this one too. She keeps asking me to adopt my baby to her, and it's just not happening. Finally, she came over for brunch this morning and brought up the idea of her adopting my baby. This time I snapped and said to her, I don't understand what it's like to not be able to have children, but your infertility is not my problem to solve, and I'm not giving you my child. Please don't push me. Everyone in the room thinks I'm the idiot for this. My parents are giving me the cold shoulder for being so insensitive. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Do not let your sister babysit. Do not leave her alone with your child. I would also notify the hospital that neither your parents nor your sister can access your child. Be sure the hospital is aware that there is a possibility of taking away the baby, and they will be held responsible if anyone except you has access while in their care. I can see your parents holding the baby and then just walking out with it, giving it to your sister or your sister doing it. Be very careful and make sure the hospital is on high alert. Not the idiot, but how many times do you have to say no? Tell her to accept the no and move on, because if she doesn't, then you're done talking to her until she does. Your parents are trying to comfort her, but not realizing they're just not acting right towards you. Talk to them. Tell them you shouldn't have to keep hearing it from her over and over again. Congratulations on your baby, and I agree with others who have said so please do not ever leave your baby with your sister. She sounds desperate enough to take the baby and run. Not the idiot. Given that she's literally trying to beg, buy, or steal your baby, what you said is mild. You're not an idiot for not giving away your child. How does that even sound? How does that even cross someone's mind? That is so crazy to the point it sounds a bit unreal. Struggling with infertility is rough. I hope your sister recognizes that she needs therapy to cope, because she is clearly not coping well. I, 26 male, have a sister 27 who is 18 months older than me. We were never close, never buddies, never had a sibling relationship where we engaged with each other. Our parents pushed any interaction. Any time spent together was time with our family, extended or immediate. I would never have said there was any bad blood until age 20. I realized my sister would actively call herself an only child, and at that point, I simply didn't care. She did hold some resentment or hard feelings towards me, but I never loved her enough to care. It broke our parents' hearts, and they would try. They got us therapy. When they realized nothing was helping, they took parenting classes. They tried family therapy. It just never happened. Now my sister is engaged, and she invited me to her wedding with a note that said she needed me to show up and play nice so her future husband's family wouldn't find out we haven't talked in a decade. She also wrote a couple of facts about herself to me to study so we could play along. It was bizarre and I wanted no part of it. On the other hand, my parents were the ones who gave her my address and other contact details, and they were thrilled she was extending the olive branch, which I get why it would look that way to them. They brought it up to me and I told them I wasn't going. They were crushed, and 3 days later they came back to me about how it's my sister's wedding and we're family. I told them we weren't close enough for me to go. They pushed and I asked them to drop it. When they didn't, I told them her wedding is not important to me and they need to let go of this close-knit family dream they have because neither of us is interested. They asked how I knew, and I told them because she's denied my existence to people and called herself an only child. And the only reason she told her future in-laws, I'm guessing, is because she knew it would come out when around them. But she has stated it to all three of us that she never loved or cared about me, and I don't love her either. They were heartbroken, and my dad later told me I was an idiot for crushing them as I did. Am I? Not the idiot. You should, if you haven't already, show them the note she attached to the invitation. They're trying to blame you when she's inviting you to her wedding as a stand-in puppet with zero regards for your feelings, giving you talking points. If she wants to pay you to be there as an actor, she can pay you, provided you are willing to take this job. Good start to her marriage, lying to her in-laws. Not the idiot. I'm not sure why your family's making you the idiot when your sister has literally been denying you exist in her perfect little life. So honestly, screw her. She never gave two shakes of a rat's butt about you and only cared to try to sell that y'all have a perfect textbook family to her new in-laws. I feel bad for them. Imagine what else she has been lying about to them. Not the idiot. Family is family, but only to an extent. Your sister is an idiot. She didn't want you in her family. When you were both adults, she called herself an only child. That's not like some childish sibling rivalry. She chose to have it that way, and now her actions have consequences. The only issue about this whole thing is, if you don't go, there's no narrative you have a part in. Your sister and parents can say whatever they want to excuse your absence. If you want to be petty, attend and introduce yourself to the new family, honestly, as the sibling your sister tried to erase from her life, and only now wants you here for appearances. My parents forced me to study a STEM degree that I had no interest in. I wanted to be a photographer. I ended up dropping out after 2 years. I work a minimum wage job while I build up a clientele. I had a pretty successful Insta page and started a side hustle helping other photographers and companies set up social media profiles. I was pretty fed up with living on the grind, and one of my friends was starting a business and asked if I could manage their social media full time. I had some money saved up, and I bought a small share in the business too. It was pretty tough going for a while, but our business has really taken off over the last 2 years. We raised money, and about a year ago, I sold some of my stake in the business. We used it as a down payment for our home. My parents never took my career seriously, and they always assumed I was just wasting my boyfriend's money and that he was humoring me because he loved me. I have tried correcting them, but it doesn't work at all. We are married now and bought a new home. I invited them over to dinner, and they were just praising him for buying the house. They had assumed that he had bought the house. He corrected them and said I had contributed more to the down payment, but they just laughed it off and said we didn't have to lie to them. I have worked really hard to get here. I don't know if I made the right choice dropping out, but I made it work for me. I told them to get out of my house. It was rude and they were very shocked, but I doubled down and said I didn't want them here. They ended up leaving. They were very hurt. I feel like an idiot because I kicked my parents out of my house. I have hurt feelings and I ruined the night. It was supposed to be a good day, and everyone is upset. My brother is understanding, and he thinks I shouldn't have invited them over in the first place. In a normal conversation, you would praise both people on their new home. That they only praised the husband was an intentional and petty way to further demean their daughter. It was incredibly rude and toxic behavior. You are not the idiot. Go no contact. Allow yourself time and space to grieve that your parents will never be supportive, and accept that for your own mental health. You need to cut them out of your life. Not the idiot. They're hurt. Sweetheart, they've been hurting you for years. It's about time they got a taste. I wouldn't speak to them until they show some respect. You're an adult now. You owe them nothing. Respect is a two-way street, and I cannot stress it enough. Parents don't need to be respected because they're your parents. They, like everyone, need to earn it, and they clearly are not. I'm so sorry you have to deal with their crap. Not the idiot. Listen to your brother and husband because they can actually see you and want to celebrate your accomplishments. It sounds like your parents got annoyed that you didn't follow the path they decided on for you and haven't bothered since to make the effort with you.